Lucid Dreaming is a part of a collection. It's called Altered State of Consciousness, where I go through different ASCs, Altered State of Consciousness, and I try to represent them in an abstract way. So I always ask myself, how would you represent something that they all have something in common, which is talking about human consciousness, but in a state that is not the baseline as we understand it, but is altered. So it means that the way that you perceive reality, the way that you perceive yourself, and where is cognitive and non-cognitive is blurry. It means that it's not as certain as it is in reality, or what we call reality. So when I approached that quest, I was telling myself, for instance, with lucid dreaming, how would you represent in an abstract way something that could be anything at the same time? And it's so personal that it only affects to the people. It's like when you have a crazy dream and you find someone else and you tell that dream to that person, you say like, I'm going flying and suddenly a lot of sparrows are coming with me, and then I go down to the land and there is a KFC where I buy a lot of chicken that is still amazing, and the people are like, yeah, sure, because it's so personal. The When you're dreaming, it's something very, very personal. So that was something that I had in mind. Lucid dreaming, though, is the ability that some people have to intervene in that state of, or in that state of consciousness, and they can actually interact with their dreams. And this is something that people have been trained to do. And as far as I know, it's something that you can actually train. Some people can reach it, some others don't. Um, so I wonder what, how can it represent like a lucid dreaming that could be about exactly everything. So I thought in this kind of vision of being something fluid, something that could have earth elements, like there is some browns there. They're not really browns. They're burnt sienna, yellow ochre, raw sienna. So those are the colors that I use on it. And then a lot of blues, because that's how I want to represent ethereal state. So you have elements of grounded elements and ethereal elements, and those are the two colors. And in between, you have a lot of nuances. You have some blacks, you have some Silurian blue, phthalo blue, you have indigo blue, and you have black. And with all of them, I create that piece. The piece contains like tons of watercolor itself, of paint, and I play a lot with the water. I play a lot with dropping salt, dropping water, like drops on it when it's almost dry, but not exactly dry. So you can see those white dots around. And I felt really good when I finished. Actually, it's I would say that it's my favorite piece, or my second favorite piece, one of my favorite piece of the collection, although it's never been sold. And I have the original painting up at my place, waiting if somebody buy it, because I established a rule, which is the first buyer has the right to redeem and to buy that original. I don't sell it. So all the pieces that I have in this collection and others, I never sold them as physical, except for the first buyer. If there is someone else that wants the physical, they should buy it out from the first owner and then ask the first owner if he wants the physical. If the first owner doesn't want the physical, then I can sell it. But it's all on the first owner.